Hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of This Shit's Hard podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Biscuiti.
And I'm Jen, aka Rumblebum. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Ooh. Welcome back.
Part two.
Welcome back, Beth. Reporting live from Kiki's living room / dining room. We have me and Rumble and Beth. Beth, the owner of the Collective Hair Studio. So happy to have you back. And when we say back, it's because Beth's cat, during the last episode, did something. It's like pets and kids can rearrange your technology in a way that actual adult humans cannot. So that we had some technical difficulties, but the cat's still welcome to come and join. We know how to take care of it this time.
She's in the background, and anyone that knows Beans, I say that she's part cat, part velociraptor. So anyone that knows her and hears this, they're gonna go, "Oh yeah, Beans fucked it up."
You're like, that tracks.
She'll probably come and jump up on your lap. Wait,
yeah, it's on brand.
Yes, because you're using this.
Oh, well, I'm not lighting up when I'm talking. Is that weird?
Maybe I need to get closer to you.
Hello.
Try it again.
Hello. I'm still not lighting up. I don't know what that means. I'm on. Are you sure that we muted the mic?
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
We're good now.
Am I lighting up?
You're lighting up.
Okay, I'm just
lighting up the room, Rumble.
See, she's lighting up. I'm not lighting up.
You're for sure lighting up.
Okay.
But yours is under biscuits. The Jen part, that won't light up ever.
Never mind, continue.
Okay, cool. Great. And also enjoy this year-round tree that my mom keeps at her house.
I love it.
It's great. It's festive 12 months of the year.
For the rest of us.
Yes, it is. We could probably pick up where we got, where we left off. We can come full circle back to the hair collective because we can do that bad bitches only. And what we were really excited about is talking about dating because that shit's hard.
It's hard.
Back to dating and where we left off, but we can revisit that.
We can revisit all of it.
Continue on.
Okay, so give us the quick rundown. You have been married. Now you're single / dating.
Yeah.
You have a grown child.
Yes. 20-year-old man-child.
Who's so proud of his mom.
He is my biggest fan. He's the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yes.
Good. And we were also talking about the fact that dating apps are a scary place. Now, we had another interview this week with a man on a dating app, and he decided he was no longer for dating apps, that those streets were not for him.
I'm with it. I feel it.
Yeah. And we actually made the same point or a similar point that you and I had talked about at one point, which was it's such a scary place for women to be, but it can be an equally as intimidating for a man because you're competing with so many other men that are like, they're getting like such a small amount of attention, and every little detail matters, like the angle at which they took their photo or, the very small amount that they have to put in their bio and all that stuff. So what has your experience been? And would you say to your friends that are your age to do it or not do it?
Oof, that's so I didn't do the dating apps probably the first year I was divorced. I just had so much going on that we talked about with, my business closing and reopening with COVID and my mom and getting sued. And also I didn't have time or the energy, to be quite honest, to focus on dating. So I've been on and off them for about a year and a half. I go on, I go off. I personally think they're terrible. I do not have good luck on them. I have friends that go on literally for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and they've got 10 dates lined up. I will have like a mailbox or whatever it's called, your hive, whatever, with all these like chats, but nobody really asks me out. Or very, very rarely does a man say, "Hey, I'd love to take you to dinner."
But I think that's the norm.
I don't know. My friend, I have two friends that literally go off and then they get right back on, and within a day, I'm not even kidding you, a day, and they're my age. One's a little bit younger than me. She has like 3 dates in a week.
Yeah, that's honestly, I think that's not the norm because I have friends also on dating apps and who have been on dating apps and men actually and women, and the norm seems to be yes, you have a ton of chats going on, but no one's really like asking anybody out. So I feel like that's the norm. So I don't know what your friends are doing over there. They're like,
I don't either. I don't either. And I mean, by the way, they're going out on a lot of dates, but not with like super quality people a lot of times. So I know my therapist and I had a whole conversation about that. How, and I'm
Right.
sure I'm not alone in this, but when you're a woman and you're on dating apps, I don't care how confident you are, it can make you feel real crappy.
oh
Like
yeah,
when you're swiping and no one's liking you, or you're having conversations and they disappear or they stop texting, it gets to you and you start to feel like, is it me? I know it's not me, but is it me? So I go off them for a mental health break every once in a while because I think it can really mess with your head. I know it does mine.
and I think that also is the norm because my friends that have been on them say the same things. Like you have to have a break because it's like draining to like swipe, and then you just end up like doing this.
Literally. I mean, and what I recently got back on, I think Bumble, and I was on for like a day and a half or something, and I like forgot about it and I got back on and it was like I had like 800 likes or something. And I was like, wow, I didn't like any. Like I think I like two. I mean, I was just, and then it's like you've run out of matches. I'm like, really? This is what's out there, like quality wise. Jesus Christ.
It's really
Do
scary.
you stay within a certain mile radius, or you like start getting bigger and bigger?
I'm basically on the hemisphere. Basically, anyone that's on my side of the hemisphere, I'm open to it because
I mean,
it doesn't seem. I don't know, and I don't know if, like I said, if it's me or what. But the last time I went on, I literally put on my profile, if you have a picture on a boat with a fish, I'm not your girl.
hey, put it out there because
I
the
just
pictures
like
are
that's
real.
all. I was married to that guy for 18 years and that was great, but I'm not about that life, which I think being in South Florida really limits the men, at least in my area. So I've kind of opened up the radius a little bit.
South Florida, a lot of men on boats with fish.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot.
And here I am this whole time thinking about your first point with all your girlfriends getting dates immediately. And my brain just trailed off to be like, well, the Instagram algorithm, maybe it's similar to Meta where like they get off because when they come back on, it's new eyeballs and they're the fresh meat. And maybe you should try that. maybe
You know
you're
what's
Maybe
I've
they're
said to
getting dates because they are like new to the platform and the platform wants them to have have an enjoyable first experience. So they stay and maybe that's what you need to do.
maybe I go on and off of them probably quicker than I should because I get frustrated. But I and I'm sure Rumble, if you've been on them, I'll go on months later. Like I'll take like a 3-4 month hiatus and I go on and it's the same dude.
People, which
I
is
know what
also
you're gonna have, and I'm
weird to
sure they're saying the same about me. They're like, oh, she's back.
I know,
You know,
but isn't it true? But isn't it weird to you when it's like the same people that it's like, what? But why are you still here? But why are you still here?
but why
Right.
am I still
Right. We're all still here.
We're all still here. Why
Right.
are we all still here?
Right.
I
Right.
think for me it's out of boredom sometimes because I work a lot and I go to the gym and the gym that I joined, I thought really I was going to meet some single guys like-minded like me, healthy into the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened. So I thought, what the hell? I'll just go back on and see what's out there. And at this point, unless the Uber driver comes to the house with an 800 credit score and a big dick, I'm really just not dating anyone. It's not happening.
Okay.
Here's to hoping.
We like dick talk around here.
Yes, which actually, speaking of, because you were having dick talk with Mary,
Yes.
you know Mary, right?
Bad and ambitious, Mary.
Yes.
Yes, queen.
So I
She's
stayed
great.
with her this
The
past
I
week.
was on her show.
Oh, awesome.
Love how
Yes.
this is coming full
Yeah,
circle.
full circle.
We
Yes.
love this.
She's going to
Yes.
be on our. We're going to do a little collabie with our podcast. But I stayed with her this past week, and we had a lot of talks about dicks.
I love it. Let's talk about it.
It's great. Yes, we're talking about it.
So we were talking about small dicks, and she was just like, she's like, I don't even know what a small dick is. So she's like, so I went to work and I Googled what's the average size of
I love that she did that at work too. That's
Right.
great. Good job, Mary.
She's like, I was Googling what the average size of dick is. Now I forgot what she said, because we know, I guess size is all relevant to women. Like what you think is a big one, we might not think is big.
Right.
I don't know. And then you have the ones that for some women are also too big, and you don't want to mess with that.
So you don't remember what her findings were?
What was the small? There's the micro penises, and then there's small.
Small, medium, large.
This is when it's hard, right? Yes, this is when it's hard.
Well, and then you have to take into it, are they a grower? Are they a shower?
Yeah, are they the girth, or could be
Length.
Length.
There's so many
And
factors.
skinny.
That's why there's aisles and aisles of different toys at Adult Video Warehouse, because one size does not fit all vaginas. Like, I have a photo album hidden in my phone of just dick pics I've got. Yeah, and I'm a full blown size queen. Like, I am definitely like I was not joking. I'll have friends say, you could ask any of my friends, I'll be like, what is Beth looking for in a guy? And they'll be like, a big dick and a good credit score.
All right.
With a beard and lots of tattoos, over 6 feet. I mean, I don't think I'm asking for too much. But we were talking about dick size, whatever, and a friend of mine, she goes, you seem to only attract these guys with big dicks. And I'm like, thank God.
Thank God.
It's the energy you put out.
You're attracting
big dick energy.
Right.
BDE.
BDE. Yeah. Like, I know, like you said, some women are not into it. I'm very into it.
Good.
Yeah.
You were just describing your perfect man, and I was thinking, I'm hiding Steven from her.
Yeah.
Well, if you know anyone else, yeah. Over 40 something.
Oh my gosh.
The only problem for me with big dicks
is that she's tiny.
Little girl. But also is the blowjob situation. Like, if it's a really
figure it out. You figure it out.
Damn.
We'll have a sidebar conversation about that one day at Rumble off camera.
Okay. Yes, it's going to need to be, because we're still trying to increase viewership here.
People like this kind of talk, though.
I know, but we can't get too far into where people are like, hide your children.
Next episode. How to give a blowjob to big.
Right. Beth Bradley's on the podcast. Turn your volume down.
And Mary's coming back because she has to be part of this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mary and I will probably get on a tangent about this topic.
Oh, we should probably have Zach be part of it as well.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Our very favorite, one of our very favorite gay friends.
We love him.
He will love to be in on this conversation.
Yes. So there's the panel. We just put the panel together. This is great.
Let's go. I think we should bring visual aids and maybe an exchange at the end or something. We could have real fun with this. Everyone bring their favorite and, write a review of it or something.
That's how we're going to make money. That's going to be for our OnlyFans podcast.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. We should all pick a toy, like you know how they have a book club? We should do a sex toy of the month club, and we all try it, and we write a review, and then we talk about it. Like, fuck book club.
Yeah.
Let's do a sex toy of the month club.
Great.
That's a great idea.
It's actually a great idea.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's a great.
I bet you I could get Adult Video Warehouse to sponsor that.
Pay to listen to this particular podcast.
Yes, because we're bringing all of the gems that you need to know.
Yes.
To improve your sex life. I love that. Yeah. Great.
This is saving marriages all over the world, or relationships.
Right. Yes. Healthy sex life in your relationship.
Yeah.
Well, now that we solved that problem.
Now that we talked about blowjobs.
Yeah, this is great.
So
Maybe we should introduce you now. So Beth Bradley, all right, tell me where I am missing things, but Beth got connected to us. Well, actually, Beth and I have known each other through the fitness space from years ago. She bought one of my first chesties, but beyond that, Garrett, who ran Sturdy, connected us and said, you have to have Beth on your podcast. Now, about Beth, he's like, she's a badass. He gave me this bio. He literally said, all right, she started her hair studio literally just before COVID, and then COVID shut her down. Then she lost her mom to cancer. She went through a divorce and got sued.
Yeah.
All in this like 24-month period. Am I missing anything so far?
No, that's it. That's it. That's a pretty, thanks, Garrett. That pretty much wraps it up. It was actually more like 16 months, but yeah.
That's even worse. And when you have that many life events condensed into that amount of time, I mean, it's traumatic. So, and then he closed with, she does the hard shit. This shit's hard. She needs to be on your podcast. And I was like, say less.
He's the best. He's the best.
So welcome.
Thank you.
And yeah, and I don't know where you want to go from there, but how is your hair studio doing today? Because now we're in 2023. We've gotten past, a lot of businesses unfortunately closed. And and we're enjoying the care package that you sent us. Thank you so much. Wet brush.
And the mug.
And the mug. We love it.
It's all branding, ladies. It's all about branding.
This is the best branding right here.
Yeah.
We agree.
So
with that, that's your mission statement, right? Like
that's our tagline for sure. So I would say that our mission statement is the name of the salon and why I named it that, which we have in at the front. It says collective. There's a really pretty picture of flowers. Yellow roses were my mom's favorite. So it's yellow roses on the wall, and it says collective, and then it says the definition, which is a group of like-minded individuals. That's what I wanted when I opened, and that's what I have created. And I'm so grateful every day to work and be amongst like-minded people. And yes, I'm around like-minded hairdressers, and my team is, I could go on and on about them. They're just beyond being the most talented hairdressers around. They're just some of the best humans I've ever had the pleasure of working with. But I was lucky enough a couple weeks ago, I joined this networking group, and they asked me if we could use the space to have a happy hour at the salon with all these women. And it's an amazing group of women. And they said, would you be the guest speaker? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I said, when I got up to speak, I looked directly at that quote or the definition of the collective. And I was like, whoa, a group of like-minded individuals, like not only in my workspace, but I've created in my outside space, even with like you two. The universe has just brought me this group of like-minded individuals. And I know that all that shit that I went through, and I wouldn't wish that on really anybody, I truly believe that I had to go through that. I really do. And I believe that it happened for my benefit. And it took me, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but about my business coach. Did we talk about that? What he said to me?
No.
So
Well,
I had
maybe.
I have a very bad memory. I'm working on it.
It's okay. It's worth repeating because it's amazing. So I had a business coach when I opened, and I was going through my lawsuit. I decided I wanted to end an 18-year marriage, and my business was shut down. And I was crying on the phone to him, like, David, I don't know what to do. I'm going to lose everything. And he said, Beth, the universe is doing all of this for your benefit. And I said, David, fuck off. Like, Fuck, are you kidding me? Like, no, it's not. Like, I need a fucking break. Like, I was drowning at this point. But in January 10th of 2023 this year, I celebrated my 3-year anniversary. And
Whew,
Dave, my
congrats.
first phone call, and I don't work with him anymore as my coach, but we still keep in touch. And I said, I get it. I get it. And it's so true. It all had to happen the way it happened. And I consider myself bulletproof now. I mean, business has ups and downs. You guys know there's highs in business where you're like, yeah, and then something happens. You're like, oh, I'm closing my doors. I'm broke. I can't afford anything.
Yes, we understand.
We understand.
You get so
Yeah.
I've practiced with my mindset and gratitude and not really over dramatizing things. That made me really strong and really made me realize I can handle anything.
You can.
Anything.
Mhm.
And if I can do it, and I said this in my talk the other night, anybody can do it. And I had people come up to me after that had never been to this group before and said, oh my God, I just told my husband I want a divorce. I've been married for 20 years. Like, I can't believe I came here. And I'm like, I can. Like, the universe sent you here tonight. I had another lady that said, oh my gosh, she was a super successful realtor. And she's like, I'm quitting and I'm going back to school to become a psychologist.
Wow.
Wow. Those are bold, badass
Bold.
things. And
Mhm.
I didn't even know these people I was speaking in front of, some of them. And to have just them come that particular night, I get it. I see now, like, what's going on with the universe. I get it. Even with like Garrett putting us together,
I know. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I don't believe in coincidences. I say that regularly. And the conversation that we had with Blaine too
Yeah.
was that, the things that do not work out for you are actually working out for you perfectly.
That's I have a screenshot on my phone right now that says, I'm going to send it to you because you and I have this thing where with like mantras and sayings, and it
Yeah,
says the things that didn't work out for you were not meant to or something. I'll send it to you, but it's
right.
exactly like those
Yeah.
doors that closed, they closed for a reason.
Yep,
Definitely.
exactly. We're going to be talking more too, Jen and I, just in general on what's going on in our lives because you said, you feel like it feels better to hear someone else say that thing out loud, and we all feel it. But sometimes you feel isolated, like you're on an island all alone and you're like the only person experiencing this, when in fact, there are so many people experiencing
It's so
the
funny that
harsh.
you said that. Mary's podcast was actually probably the first platform, but the other night when I did that talk, it was really the first time, other than in like therapy or my very, very close friends, knowing the full story. People didn't even know that I was getting divorced. Clients, because I didn't put it on social media, I kept it very private. My team did. My team knew I was being sued, but they had no idea how bad it was. And my kid didn't know how bad all of it was because I had to come home and act like everything was okay. And until everything was done, I really never had a chance to kind of decompress and to be able to stand in front of people or in Mary's case on her podcast and tell my story was like cathartic for me to get it
Yes.
off my chest and to have people come up to me and say, holy shit, dude, I had no idea. You seemed like everything was great. You seemed like everything was handled. But it took a lot of my mental health taking a toll to be strong and to isolate myself and not talk about how bad shit really was.
And that's your choice. We had a guest recently, Alex Macklin, who said he doesn't post really almost anything personal,
Yeah.
and he almost hardly ever posts in general, just because he personally doesn't feel like that's the platform he wants to share on.
Yeah.
No judgment either way, but if you choose to, because he said if you choose to share, then you're like already going down this path, and then people have expectations of you, or like with Jen, she shares a lot, but even so, maybe she does at the most 15-20 stories in a day, which is a lot, but it's still, they're 15-second clips, so
Yeah.
like what,
So you're only getting someone's like
3 minutes,
5 minutes a day, but they,
yeah.
ultimately.
One of the things that you talked about last time when We Love Your Cat, right before your cat turned off the power on your laptop, was the story that you told us about when you decided you were going to get a divorce. And can you tell us that story again? Because honestly, you said the word cathartic, and I was just like, yes, because so many people look at splitting up, breaking up, divorce as a bad thing, but in reality, we should be congratulating people
Yeah.
on making a very difficult decision in choosing yourself. So could you tell us that story?
And yes, and I seem to be having like all these firsts lately because when I told you guys, I said I've never said this outside of like my three best friends. No one knows this. And I'm not saying this is the way to end your marriage, people, but my I had been living in a very lukewarm marriage for many, many years. We were friends. We were like roommates. Our sex life was horrible. We had no intimacy, and then going through everything, with the COVID shutting down, my mom being sick. My ex-husband gave it a good old college try around December 2020. We went to Miami to this beautiful hotel. He made reservations, my favorite restaurant. And the whole way down there, all I'm thinking is, shit, he's going to want to have sex. He's going to want to I don't want to have sex with him. Oh my God. And I'm like, come on. I'm like amping myself. I'm like, all right, just start to have some drinks, like loosen up. He
Oh
made
my
It's
God.
the drinks. Yes,
the drinks.
like I gotta
So we
take it
check
back.
into the hotel. It's gorgeous.
Oh my
We
God.
go have cocktails. We go to my favorite restaurant in Miami. We drink. There's not enough drinks. We get back to the hotel and I try what I've done for years. I'm like, oh, I'm just so full, babe. Like, I don't. And he's like, come on, like, come on. Let's just have sex. And we started kissing in bed. And I just said, I want a divorce. Even say,
You
I
can
feel like Jen's looking at me like, my God.
No,
Sorry.
that's so, it probably felt immediate, like
relief.
relief.
I felt immediate relief. And then in the same second, because he was like laying on top of me,
Yeah.
I
Shock.
felt his whole body seize up.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no.
I knew also how, listen, it was a shock in the moment, but it wasn't a shock. He felt the same way. And we talked about that. And
It was
we
just who was
both
gonna
had been
say it
checked
first,
out.
probably, right? Who was gonna say it first?
A million percent. And I think he was, a very kind of meek person when it came to me. I was very alpha in our marriage. I think once my son moved out or went to college, I think that's probably when he thought I was going to do it. And I did too. I really was like, let us just get, him through school and whatever, and then we'll do it. And just something in that moment, I was like, no more. No more. I cannot do this anymore. I can't lay next to somebody that I do not want to kiss or be intimate with. I did it for so long. And it wasn't fair to either of us. It should have been over a long time before. And the things that I've learned in the past 3 years, life is not guaranteed. It's so short. We all know accidents happen, divorce, death. Like, life is too short to be with somebody lukewarm. And I mean that in friendships,
Yep.
work relationships, travel, a meal. I don't drink cheap wine. Like, life is too short. I say fucking do it. You want to go on the vacation? Do the vacation you want to do. I don't date potential anymore. I only date people that I think could potentially be my match because I just want to date with intention. I want to work with intention. I want to be around people with intention, and I want to create a workspace that's intentional.
Mm.
Otherwise, it's lukewarm.
Oh, that's so powerful. I love that you said that
Yeah.
you don't date potential anymore, because I think that, especially women, because we like to, not that men can't do this, but we always tend to see the best in people. And even like as an employer, I would catch myself, on interviews thinking like, oh, this person has the potential to be whatever. We just need this, and that. And it's like this, and that are really big things. Like, same with dating. This, and that might be like more than 50% of your list. So why are you settling? Don't settle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm 47. The older I get, the more my non-negotiables get. which makes your dating pool even smaller.
Like the more
But
important your non-negotiables get?
I
Or,
the
or do you get more, or you add more to the list?
Yeah, like for me, just for example, I one of my big non-negotiables is I will not date men with very small children. And the reason being is because my love language is quality time. And I want somebody to spend time with me. And I had a young child and I have young nieces that I spend a lot of time with and I love them, but I don't want to do that. I prefer to date men with children because they get it.
Right.
But small children, they don't have time for me, you know? And I tried it. I tried dating them and it doesn't, again, it was potential. Like maybe they can make time and it doesn't work. Also, and this sounds terrible at 47, but like if you don't have your own house or apartment or you have roommates, like just a no. And you would think that like who has roommates at 47 or doesn't have or lives with their parent? Girl, a lot.
Wow.
That's fair. That's a fair non-negotiable.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, like I think so. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to, even in like my friendships, I feel like in the past 3 years, there was a lot of people that I thought were really, really down for me that I had been friends with for a long time. And when all that stuff happened, they just split. They didn't call about the lawsuit. They didn't call about my mom. And I just went through one day and just deleted people out of my phone, out of my Facebook. I unfollowed people because I was like, why am I giving them access to me? Even though it's on social media and I don't share a lot of personal stuff on social, but my business is out there, for the salon. And I just thought, why am I don't even want to go to drinks with someone that's a mediocre friend or go on vacation with a mediocre, like, no, it's all or nothing for me.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I need the advice still of the dating potential. That's been a big problem of mine.
I think it's a big problem for most women.
Yeah, because you're like, no, I know you can do better. I see you who you are. Why can't you just be it?
But you can't want more for someone else than they want for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the really hard
It's hard
thing.
to wrap your brain around.
Yeah.
And I think on the flip side, when we're talking about men being sick of dating apps, I think there are just as many women who are full of shit or who they might see as potential. I think there's a lot of guys that think, oh, I'll date a younger girl and she has little kids and it's fine. And then, because I have many guy friends that are single that have done that and they're like, dude, I can't stand her freaking kids, or like, she's always at soccer, she's always here, she's always that. And it's like, I'm like, well, then why are you dating women with small children? And it's like, because you do see that potential in somebody or in the relationship, but you can't force it.
Yeah.
You can't force it. And Rumble, you're in the position where you have a little one where, it's not a negotiable for you to not make time for your little one, like for me, that would have never been a non-negotiable when my son was little.
Oh, for sure. Yes, that's something I definitely have to look out for or pay attention to. She's plus on top of that, she's a little girl. I am not bringing no men around unless I am dating someone seriously for probably, I would say, like a year, a good solid year, because I'm not going to be that woman who's like, just brings random freaking, and out of respect for my ex, because I do respect him and I would not want to do that either with his dating. So that is something that I have to take into consideration, is just not, and she's so young and impressionable, not bringing randos around. So that's like an absolute non-negotiable. No,
and I respect you so much for that, because there's a lot of women that, there's a lot of women out there, and this is, I'm not trying to offend anyone. There's people that are looking to have a daddy. And I don't mean like a sugar daddy, but like they're looking for somebody to step into that role. Maybe they've had an absentee father. Like they're looking for someone. So they move a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. And I mean, you have a little girl. I have a grown son, and his respect means everything to me. And even though he doesn't live at home anymore, I am still respectful, and I would never put something on social that was inappropriate that he could see, or introduce him to somebody that wasn't serious, because his opinion matters the most to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely one of my non-negotiables. Like, no, you are not meeting my child. You are
Good for you.
absolutely not until I know you inside and out, until we are have dated for like a solid amount of time. That would be a waste of time to just randomly introduce her to people.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Jen's really fortunate, but but not lucky in that she has a great relationship with her ex.
Yeah, we're
And
great co-parents.
yeah, you are. And that's something that she cultivated. And like that's hard work, you know? It's something that not everyone
You
is
gotta eat a lot of shit to get along with your ex and for the sake of your kids. And
Oh, sure.
I was lucky. You got a long time to deal with your ex. My son was 18, so we still communicate about our son, but I didn't have to deal with him in that regard. So
And so I am very like lucky, blessed that we have that relationship. Because her being only 5, because we have a long way to go.
mhm.
But yeah, we do parties. We can do parties with her. We can do, it's going to be different when probably one of us starts introducing someone else. But I don't think that's going to be for a minute. But yeah, it's nice that we can still do things together as a family, and she can see us.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
She's also the smartest and most like emotionally evolved 5-year-old
Yeah.
because when Jen and and her ex sat their daughter down and said, "Don't worry, this isn't your fault." She said, "Oh, I know, it's your fault
Yeah.
and your fault."
No, she said that?
She goes, "Oh, it's not my fault." She said, "It's your guys' fault." We were like, "Bitch!" That was the first thought in my head. And I was like, first of all, I was like, and then I was like, "Yes, you are correct."
Is she a Scorpio?
She's an Aries.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It is your guys'
Yeah.
fault.
We were like,
You know what? Of all the responses, that's a really good one.
yeah.
Go ahead.
We were like, okay, solid.
Next topic.
Yeah.
She's probably like, is that it? Great. I'm leaving now.
It's so funny. So, what's next for you on your building phase? Because I feel like, all right, we got triage done.
Yeah.
We're not like nothing's on fire,
Yeah.
nothing's being
Not
sued.
bleeding out.
Right. We're not bleeding out. So, have you been able to like kind of regather yourself after this like very traumatic time and think about like build phase, or where are you at with that?
So, I mean, I definitely, for me, building comes in a few different ways. Like, I look at it, building my financial security has been something I've gotten really passionate about. And I actually did a second podcast with Mary about um, making money moves for women. I mean, it could apply to men too, but it's something I become passionate about because it's really scary if you're not financially independent. Because I never thought I was going to get sued, get divorced, or close a business during COVID. So, um, building my financial future has been really important, but building my team and focusing on that, and also being able, I couldn't focus on a lot of things because I was dealing with the background noise of the lawsuit and everything else. Now I've been like, okay, what does the collective hair studio look like in 5 years? And I have a few different ideas, and it's not really it's not really to expand. People ask me all the time, they're like, do you want to open up a second location? Fuck no. But I would like to be able to invest in maybe another business or something like that. Maybe one of my stylists would start. I would be down for something like that. I want to be able to focus more on basically what I want, because my whole identity for the past 3 years has been keeping the salon open and doing that. And now I'm starting to like kind of rebrand Beth Bradley, apart from the collective. I'll always be the owner of the collective, and that's, my focus. But what does Beth Bradley, not the owner and not the stylist, want to do? And that's been a mind shift, because I felt guilty for a long time if I would take a day off or sit on the couch. I felt like I should be doing something for the business, doing something for my team, doing something. And I didn't realize that I wasn't doing anything for me, and I had no battery left for Beth. That's like, even dating, like I didn't want to date because all I was doing was focusing on working. I wasn't focusing on my mental health, my rest and recovery, Even like my eating habits, my sleeping habits, all that stuff kind of fell by the wayside. And I've really made me a priority the past 6 months with I don't have to be in at 9 o'clock every day. If I decide that I want to take a spin class, or if I want to, you know, go in a little later, or most recently, I just started taking Saturdays off, which doesn't sound like much, but for a hairdresser of 23 years, it's huge. And
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm better at work, even though I'm there less. I'm more efficient.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I am happier. I'm more focused on what my team needs. And I'm not a micromanaged person. I have a very independent team. So I don't need to be there a whole, all the time. But I've just discovered that it's made me better in all areas, kind of taking a step back and focusing on me and not work.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've used this analogy countless times, but that's why when you're on the plane, the flight attendants always tell you to put your own mask on first before helping others. And the same theory or concept applies in life. Like you have to fill your own cup first before you're expected to, or even have the capacity to help others fill their own cup. You really have to look out for yourself. And in your case, you are in a lot of ways viewed almost synonymously with your brand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not taking care of yourself, you could argue that you're not actually taking care of your brand either. So this does make a lot of sense, I think, to both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very cool. So as you're like slowing down, thinking about scaling, have there been any, well, scaling for you, not scaling for the business, but have there been any like things that you've done, routines you've created, books you've read, therapists or anything? What has been like helpful for you in this process, in this transition?
I think one of the biggest things has been being vulnerable, like even doing this, right? Going on Mary's podcast, joining a networking group, and talking about my personal stuff. It's very hard for me to be vulnerable in front of people, especially other women. And, but it's been amazing. And I've met some really good friends by just opening myself up. I also, I know it sounds small, but every single morning when I wake up, I lay in bed and I say 5 things I'm grateful for. And a lot of my anxiety comes in the middle of the night. Panic, worrying about the salon, money, my kid. I don't have really anxiety during the day. I'm too busy. So my anxiety comes at night or sometimes when I wake up. And so what I do to kind of combat that is I say 5 things I'm grateful for. And sometimes it has to be really simple. If my anxiety is, anyone that's had a panic attack or anxiety knows, sometimes you can't even really think. So I'll be like, I'm grateful that my bed is comfortable. I'm grateful that I like my sheets. I'm grateful that my cats are alive. And then other times it gets deeper where I'm like, I'm so grateful that my business is still open. I am so grateful that I have the team that I have. I'm so grateful that I have the best friends that I have. Sometimes it gets a little, but starting my day like that, and it's been about 6 months, has really changed how I start my morning.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then let's
Yes.
bring us through your morning routine.
Morning routine. This is a new
So,
question for everyone.
Yes.
What's your morning
I have to
routine?
charge my phone. So for years and years when my kid was in school, my alarm went at 5:10. I went to CrossFit every day at 6. That's where my people were. That's where I met my dearest friends, was at the gym. And once he graduated high school and I opened the business, I couldn't go to the gym sometimes in the morning because I was up really late, or my sleep was disrupted, or just whatever. So my morning routine is I do not wake up to an alarm anymore, which has been a game changer. So I usually wake up between like 6:15 and 7:15. Get up, make coffee, feed the cats. I do my gratitude while I'm laying in bed. And I don't always read the Daily Stoic, but I try to just kind of look at it, or I'll pick up something to read before I pick up my phone. I've tried to make that a habit. Doesn't always work. And then I go to the gym. I'll take a class or do whatever. If I don't go to the gym, I'll go to the gym early. I'll go to the gym after work. But being able, and it's Rumble, you'll see one day, it sounds so crazy. When you have kids, everything is a routine every day. It's a Groundhog Day. You wake up, you make breakfast, you get them to school, you do this, you do this, I don't have to rush in the morning anymore. And it's been like, to be able to make a cup of coffee or make myself breakfast or go for a walk in the neighborhood is awesome.
Well, I have that luxury because, and this is what I say to people too, like my ex and I are 50-50. So we switch on Fridays. So week on, week off. I very much look forward to my week off. And anyone who says that they are not are liars.
Liars.
Who are 50-50, they're liars. Now I wish I had my kid all the time. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Especially when they're little. No, you do not. So I look forward to having her back. Like now I go back today. So I'm ready to have her back. And then at the end of the week, I'll be like, bye, because you're 24/7 on 24/7. So I very much look forward to my week of like, okay, slow down. I'm not, yeah. So yes, to be able
I think it makes you a better mom.
It does. 100%.
I think I know it did me. I know it's a touchy subject with like moms that work and moms that choose to stay home.
Yes.
For me, I was a better mother working.
Yeah.
I don't have the capacity. I don't have the patience.
And some don't, and that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm so glad that you said that because it makes me feel good as a working mom, because there's a lot of moms, and you and I talked about this last time, Rumble, where, you'll be out with your friends for happy hour, like, cute outfit, feeling yourself. And they're like, where's your daughter? Where's your baby?
We just did a whole episode actually on
mom guilt. Don't shame me
on
for
motherhood and moms, like basically moms
Yeah.
throwing and getting
We
shade.
did a whole episode on it.
It's a real thing, y'all.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
It is. Clients used to say to me,
you don't, if you're a mom, basically what it comes down to.
Yeah. Clients would say to me, I'm in the middle of doing their hair.
Doing it wrong.
Yeah. Clients would say to me in the middle of doing their hair, so where's your baby? Oh, he's at home on a leash with a bowl of water. Like, what do you mean? He's at daycare with all the other kids that parents were.
Our dog. She's with Sammy, the dog. Sammy's watching her. Like, what?
Yeah. Just the line of questioning is just like, it is wild. It's offensive. It's like ignorant.
It comes from mostly other women, which is also wild.
Oh, I've never had a man ask me, where's your kid? Like, never.
To me, probably doesn't even go through the brain of a man. It's always women. It's always women. It's wild.
It's honestly unbelievable. And what we talked about, because I can't speak because I do not have kids. I'm a cat mom, okay? But what we spoke about on that episode is that unfortunately what a lot of that is outward, like basically mirroring, in that, they see something that they want that they don't have, that's missing in themselves. And, your first reaction is to be jealous.
Yeah. And then to shoot down,
or to be angry about it because you're angry about like your own situation.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there are a lot of, mothers who don't have resources, and that is a completely different thing.
Yes.
That's a different story.
It is
a different story.
Correct. And they probably have the hardest job because they are faced with, I want to be with my kid, but I also need to,
but I have to work,
make money to support my kid.
Especially moms that are single. We, talked about that are actually single, that don't have a partner, and who's the dad is removed, and they are the mom and dad. Like, I don't know how they do it, to be honest.
I don't either.
I don't. I guess you have to, but yeah. Anyways.
So but thank you for saying that, and thank you for sharing your morning routine with us. Yes. And obviously we figured, since you sent us the coffee mug, that you were a coffee drinker, but
yeah. I'm a 1 cup a day girl.
Same here. Yeah. But this is 2 actually. So, but it's an odd day for me, but usually I just morning and then I'm done.
Oh, and yesterday, FYI, I did make her a cocktail in that mug.
In this mug.
Yeah.
Great.
It was a double.
It was perfect. I said, I don't drink that often, but yesterday I was like, this week, make me a double.
So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. It was great to drink in the mug.
I'm glad it's multi-purpose.
Yes. This is definitely a multi-purpose. Everything's going to go in this mug.
I love it.
Do you have any trips planned since we're now in the summer and you just talked about, not doing anything lukewarm. So do you have any very en fuego trips coming up?
So not yet, and I really need to just make the damn trip. I think I'm gonna do a girls trip either to, we were talking either like maybe Vermont or Maine or something, somewhere that's not 177 degrees
Yeah,
like
right.
South Florida. Next summer is gonna be a big trip. So I'm trying to get my son to do his birthright trip. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But anyways, it's children that are born to Jewish mothers are automatically Jewish, and Jewish Federation pays for their trip to go to Israel. And I've been dying to go, so I'm trying to get him to do his birthright next summer, and then me meet him there and do like maybe Egypt and Jordan. If that does not happen, a very dear friend of mine is getting transferred to Barcelona.
Whew.
And yes, so I'm going to Europe next summer. I'm just not sure which country.
Which one? Okay.
Great.
Yeah, but that is definitely happening next summer.
Awesome.
Ooh. Yeah, we love that. We did Egypt in March. It was great. Very warm.
It looked amazing though.
It's amazing. It's definitely like one of those trips that's like, you're not going there for vacation. You know what I mean? You're going there for education. It's
Right.
not like I'm going to resort in Egypt to like hang out at the resort. No. This is like,
well, that's what Israel's going to be like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going there for education. It's like
gain historical data.
Yes. A once in a lifetime trip. I don't have a desire to go back. But I'm glad I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. However, we are doing the relaxation Costa Rica thing. We leave next week, which we thought when we were talking about it was in 2 weeks. So
time. We're like, oh wait, it's next week. Right.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep you informed on all of our travels and see if you would like to join us.
Yes, I'd love that.
Thank you.
That's what I need to do. I need to do something last minute and just be like, fuck it.
Honestly,
that's
like that's literally her mantra.
My life the past 2 years.
My team would be so down for it too. Like my girls would be like, yes, Beth, go. We will take care of the salon. Like, go have a good time. They'd be so happy for me.
That's amazing.
That's really great to have that sort of support, and you should do it.
Yeah.
Because YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah, because YOLO. So we added a couple of new questions into the mix just, for fun. Oh, there's your cat. So is there any song in particular that's been stuck on repeat in your head this week?
Oh, yeah. Mother's Daughter by Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a rough week and I love that song. It makes me think of my mom. But that's just been on that and World Hold On by Bob Sinclair, which is a total opposite like club song from the 90s, but that's been on my running playlist. So both those two.
Love that. And you already answered the question about podcasts and books because you journal in the morning, Daily Stoic. Love that. So now we do a couple rapid fire questions.
Yes.
So we'll use a term and you tell us what is the first word or phrase that comes to mind. So
let's do it.
Okay. Festivals.
Fringe.
Okay.
Very appropriate.
Yes.
Very applicable.
There's a lot of fringe outfits for festivals, I feel like, this year.
Yeah. Side note, we are planning EDC for November. Open invitation to join.
You know what you guys should do? You should come in so I can give you each like a braiding class so you can braid each other's hair and have amazing hair that's off your necks while you're dancing and stuff.
Well, we do have a friend. The last 2 festivals that I've been to, I order the hair off Amazon and she braids it in. So
okay, there you go.
We have a festival, mommy and daddy.
You have a person. Okay, good. It's good to have people.
Chai and Sterling, mommy and daddy of the festival.
Yeah. With the PDFs and everything. It's festival adulting.
Yeah, it's pretty much on another level. It's like, here's your itinerary. The itinerary like literally like jumps out and like tucks you into bed at night. It's like it's so just robust.
Maybe I should do a festival.
That's what we're saying.
I was a big rave kid, back in the day, club kid. So maybe I should bring it back.
Right. So situationships.
I knew you were going to ask me this because of my comment last time. And I stand by what I said last time. Because you said, I think you said, have I ever found myself in a situationship? And my response to you in Rumble was, if there was an Olympics of situationships, I would be a gold medal winner.
We like honesty.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that. Sunglasses at night.
Douche.
Agree.
And we already pretty much know the answer to this just because of the content that we've already covered, but international travel.
Yes. More of it.
More of it. Yes. That is awesome.
More of it.
Are there any parting words you'd like to leave our audience today to make sure that they leave today with a little bit more hope than they started with?
I would say if you are somebody that's in a situation and you just kind of don't know what to do, or you feel like maybe not the smartest person in the room, or you don't feel like you're skilled enough or good enough or whatever, I would say don't worry about not being good enough. Be tenacious enough. And I use that word to describe myself because I didn't really know what I was doing the first couple of years, but I was the most tenacious bitch in the room. I was going to read books. I was going to get coaches. I was going to talk to other people in the industry. Like, just keep being tenacious. Don't worry about being perfect or right or even failing. Just be the most tenacious motherfucker in the room and you will be all right.
I love that. Thank you so much, Beth Bradley.
I loved it.
We are so happy that you came on, and we're so happy to have this chat with you.
Me too. And I'm going to reach out to Adult Video Warehouse and see if they will sponsor our Sex Toy of the Month club.
You let us know.
For real.
I will make it. Watch, I'll get it done.
I believe you.
Yes.
I believe you.
Yes.
That would be the fucking amazing.
That will be so fun. So we have that to circle back on.
Yes.
Also, I'm going to follow up with you directly because I'm speaking on the feminine energetics of money with our friend Amalia, who was also on the podcast.
She was amazing.
She's incredible.
So good.
And
I'm orgasms. I was captured.
She's great. She's so great. So she also hosts women's circles, and I'd like to speak with her about having you speak on that topic as well, maybe alongside me. So I'll circle back with you on that too.
I would love it. Well, thank you guys so much. I think you're such bad bitches, and I just appreciate your honesty and your rawness and your vulnerability. And I think more people need to be like you guys.
Well, that's
and yourself.
Very generous. And yourself. Thank you very much.
Bye, girls.
Bye.